Right, coming on with the Von Ranson technique. I've just done one on the large butcher's tray and I scraped the remains of the paint back onto my smaller palette. But I thought, well, I'll just have another go. I've got the wet paint, I haven't got the mixing area, of course. So I'm using another piece of the, this is Saunders £200 cold pressed, or called not hot pressed. It's 15 inches by 11, which is a quarter imperial. The colours are cotton watercolour, lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. Ron used the 7 of those colours. He didn't usually use the burnt sienna. You can mix that with the light red and burnt umber, but I like to have it there. Butcher's tray, the display tray, food tray, you can get these anywhere online. The 2-inch or 45mm hake is a bit less than 2 inches. So Von Ranson hake, they are superb. You get a good one, but you don't know that until you bought it. Inch brush, 1/2 inch flat, rigger, other riggers, plenty of cloth. Just turn it over because I've just done one. I called it Contemplation. It's just a lake scene. I love lakes and simple statements. So I'll wet the paper. I won't wet it all over. I'll just leave a bit of sparkle here and there. If I remember from the books, Ron Ranson used to do this with a tint of raw sienna. I'm going to put mine on now. So a bit of sienna, just behind your clouds. You don't want it. We don't have white clouds. We have clouds with plenty of colour in. So I'm probably doing another lake painting. Could be Seven Islands, Mitcham Common. So I'll mix a bit of Payne's grey now. I didn't use Payne's grey in the previous one. A bit of alizarin. So a nice bit of alizarin in there. All over the sky. And I'll just stiffen that up for a bit of shadow under one of them. One of those bits of cloud, plenty of alizarin. I don't use a lot of alizarin, but it's a lovely colour. I've got the board at about 45 degrees. Right, we'll let that dry out and see what happens to it. Let's bring a little bit over here. Whoops. I'm going to put in some hills under this. I keep putting my finger in the wet paint here. Right. Bit of background. So a bit of light red, bit of ultramarine. That wasn't meant to happen. I've picked up a load of burnt umber with that, so I'm going to have to clean that off. I'm not ready for the burnt umber yet. It's a bit too close to the blue. My paint's creeping slowly towards the middle of my mixing area. But that's okay because it gives me a few more seconds to let that dry across there. Right, get that clean. Make sure it's all out. Okay, now a bit of background. Keep away from that. Bit of blue, bit of red, bit of alizarin. You need a cloth to take off the excess. When you're painting over wet paint, you need to thicken up. Get that sort of going uphill here. Right, that'll do. When your brush separates, just dip it in a bit of water and just bring it back together, eh? Now, go away. Put a bit of that bleach in here. They're sort of horizontal. I tend not to draw these days. Certainly not the horizon, just go for it. So we have a bit of green, so Payne's grey, let's use Payne's grey in there. A bit of sienna. Just get some dark. And go a bit darker green. Nice and thick, just go up there, a bit of shadow on the green. Okay, let's get some more burnt sienna in there. So that's really thick there now. Bit burnt umber. A little bit of that greeny mix. Sorry if my head's in the way. Okay, so we're adding just a bit of texture, little bit of detail, a bit of dark here. I like to try to convey calm in my paintings. I think you've got there by now. That's just a bit too brown there. Let's change that. You can really take liberties with this sort of paper. It's such good quality. And I'll just see if I can lift out some just a little some flicks just to show. Okay, so that's the background in. Then we'll do some features, anything else we want to put in that occurs to us as we go along. Alright, okay, it's a little bit bouncy, but I know I do this endlessly, but you can never get enough practice at it. People do like it. Just using a hake and just exploiting all its possibilities, using every bit of it, corners, edge, the back of it, the belly of it, just drag down. It reminds me of Claremont Lake, off the A3 south of London, where it goes from London to Guildford and beyond. And the Claremont Lake, I left a carpet job over there, much to the dismay of the customer, to go watercolour painting by the side of it, park the car. And I still paint from the photograph I took of it. Or I think I paint from the photograph of the painting I did. Right, let's some brights. This is just sort of reedy stuff here. Well, I'm just mixing any old colour here. Just putting different textures in. This brush is just, well, these brushes, the Hague is just a sensational brush. So if you ever watch these, Ron, regards to you. Ron lives in Oregon now, in I think it's Wilsonville, and two of my subscribers live nearby, and one had four or 5 years coaching from Ron. He doesn't do it now. And if you haven't come across it yet, watch Mike Porter's little mini documentary on Ron, made last year I think, or the year before. Ron's still painting, but he is an absolute hero. Now let's get some rich colour in this foreground here. Nice bits of red. So we can lift out loads of different colours. Look, it's almost opaque. And then we can just flick out a couple of my old Visa card, all beautifully cut into pieces, but using it to scrape out don't overdo this like I just done. It's a great idea, technique, but like all these things you can overdo it, and I always do. When the paint's wet, it's not now, you can drag fine grasses upward. Alright, I'm going to have to dry brush. When this is dry, I'm going to sort of dry brush that sky. I should have done a bit more there, but I'm just wondering. But I reckon we could put a bit more sort of autumny stuff here. Bit of water in there. Sort of bushes just growing on the side there. We put a bit of green in there, I think. Because it's so rough, this paper, it tends to leave lots of holes in the paint. Okay, that'll do before we overdo it. If a little bit works, do a load more. The overkill. We'll just put another little bit of when I've used all this lovely paper up, I'm going to go back to the Fabriano because I like what it does. I got used to it. All these sort of grasses. I will okay. I need to link the background with the foreground, but I think I can do that as a dry brush. But I've got to finish my main painting first, and then that was what attracted me to Claremont Lake, was all the marshy sort of grasses around the edge and showing the reflections. I'm talking over 30 years ago when I was there. Used to do a lot of work out there. That's carpet work, that is. What you put above, put below, more or less under. Look, this is, as Seb Wesson would say, bags of damn all. Okay, and it looks as if there's a lot of detail here, but as you can see, there's not. It's just suggested, really. Let's drag some up in here. So that helps to link. Okay, I think that is just about showing there. Let's smash up the rig a little bit. Okay, well that adds a little bit, we can do a bit more of that. What a way to choose brush, eh? Look, the rigger's split into loads of little riggers. Right, so don't want to do much more than that. I might put some birds in. But I'm going to dry this off now. So bear with me. Take your headphones off, otherwise you'll lose your eardrums. Go. almost changed my mind about the dry brush. I'm going to put the reflection of that more or less in here, but I'm going to leave quite a margin between the far bank and the foreground. I can dry brush a bit of that, but I'm going to just go across there like that, just bring the wash down, but don't, when you do this, don't scrub it, because you'll move what's underneath and we don't want to do that. Right, that's fairly straight along there. So let's put in some of that colour and really dark bluey green. Those colours in on that wet. And then a nice blue. Let's get some of that in there. For the background. Now a bit of dry brush. So we use for that sky some alizarin and some Payne's Grey. So we'll I'm going to let that go. I'm not sure whether I pulled it off, but right, okay. I think that needs to be a bit more reflecting sky colour, but no. Just take that off there. Right, let's see if this works. So that is cut into that's the wind ruffle, just cut into that water, that reflection. Let's just clean it out a bit more. We used to call it a thirsty hake. I suppose we could do some here. No, we don't. No. Right, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to sign it. We'll put that in a mount. So we'll sign it. I always sign on the left. I'll sign here. Okay, a bird's always good to put in, bird or two, or three, because it links the land to the sky. I've mucked them up a bit, but anyway. Right, let's put it in a mount. I'll put it in the ivory mount, I think, because there's not too much blue in that. That was a bit cold, didn't it? I'll go back with the blue one. It's a bit better. So I get the horizon fairly straight. Right, there we are. Another simple painting. The detail is hinted at rather than made obvious. So it's another sort of tranquil painting. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.